At it again, and we've got a major topic of discussion here today. Oh boy. More breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. But before we hop into it, like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button if you are new. If you would like to help me out even further with this YouTube algorithm too, watch this video to the very end. It helps out tremendously. I would greatly appreciate it. With that being said, let's dive in. Big shout out to Liberal Hive Mind today. Make sure you guys go show the brother some great love and support. He breaks this down perfectly in this video clip. And I've got another video clip after we hear what Liberal Hive Mind has to say. So stick around. But let's dive in.
He's just another Democrat DOJ dog. So we're talking about Jack Smith. You know, the media loves to portray this guy as a neutral prosecutor. He's got no dog in the race whatsoever, definitely not partisan, but he's obviously DNC paid muscle. And the more access to the facts of this case that we receive, the more we analyze, the more we realize that that is in fact the case. Folks, we're getting reports. I'm not going to say that this is happening absolutely, but we're getting reports that a good chunk of Jack Smith's classified documents case could get thrown out because of a procedural error. This report is coming from Real Clear Investigations, that's Real Clear Politics, not some rinky-dink fake news outlet on Twitter, but honestly, whether or not the case or certain elements of the case get thrown out, completely irrelevant here. The bigger picture continues to show one thing, that Jack Smith is biased in promoting narratives through his indictment rather than focusing on the actual facts of the case, and of course the overarching meta theme here, just how ridiculous and illegitimate these indictments are. You know, just adding on to the pile, showing how corrupt this abuse of power truly is. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, take a look at this headline right over here from the Conservative Brief. Jack Smith's documents case against Trump in danger of being tossed. Special counsel Jack Smith's classified documents case against former President Donald Trump is likely to be tossed out in large part or in full because of a procedural error, according to investigative reporter Paul Sperry. The Real Clear Investigations correspondent cited unnamed legal insiders in an X-platform post writing, developing, legal insiders say Jack Smith's USC 1001 false statement charges against Trump will be tossed since Trump was never even interviewed by a federal agent. Also, Sperry intimated that Smith's case is not built on substantial evidence, but instead relies on largely inflammatory rhetoric meant to sway a jury. Jack Smith's January 6 indictment of Trump repeatedly lies on a fuselage of subjective, even inflammatory language, devoid of underlying facts and evidence to appeal emotionally to jurors, including fraudulent/fraudulently, false/falsely, fake, and sham, he wrote in another X post. Sperry also claimed that Smith's case relies in large part on an emoji. Jack Smith's Mar-a-Lago obstruction case against Trump is based on an emailed emoji related to security camera footage that was never actually destroyed according to legal insiders. Part of Jack Smith's case against the former president has already been tossed. U.S. District Judge Aileen Cannon of the Southern District of Florida, a Trump appointee who was overseeing the case, invalidated two of Smith's sealed filings early last month. Kyle Cheney, a senior legal correspondent for Politico, wrote via X, Judge Cannon comes out swinging at special counsel this morning, striking two of prosecutors' sealed filings and demanding an explanation of the legal propriety of using an out-of-district grand jury proceeding to continue to investigate the Docs case. So it seems like in this case specifically, which they're pursuing in a Florida court, a lot of, let's call it, prosecutorial mistakes or possibly misconduct is being identified, and elements of Jack Smith's case are being shot down one after another. Supposedly the next big mistake, as Jack Smith is trying to charge Donald Trump over false statements, supposedly this charge is to be tossed since Trump was never even interviewed by a federal agent. So who exactly was he making these false statements to? You know, I probably couldn't explain the actual legal theory behind this potential issue, but I'll take Paul Sperry's word pretty much any day of the week. The guy's an absolute ace and he hasn't let us down as of yet. But the second part highlighted by Paul Sperry really shows Jack Smith for who he is. Continuously using words like fraudulent and fraudulently, false and falsely, fake and sham, using these words as if they're determined fact, accusing him of fraudulently doing something with no underlying facts, proving that what Donald Trump did was fraudulent, or that his claim was false, most of it is actually subjective. You know, if you look at all of these cases, they're all totally subjective. It's not black and white at all. Donald Trump is being accused of fraud or fraudulently presenting, let's say, an idea or a document, Georgia case, for instance, but there's no real way for the prosecution to prove that Donald Trump is engaging in fraud, engaging in a sham or in false statements, or knowingly false statements, because it's all entirely subjective. You know, it's pretty hard as a prosecutor to prove what the defendant was thinking, presenting to the jury what the prosecutor subjectively believes the defendant was thinking at the time of the supposed crime, rather than actually presenting facts of what the defendant was actually thinking and doing.
It's the same thing with the whole Georgia case, right? You know, everybody talks about the phone call. The phone call, you know, he said, I need you to find. Yeah, he said, I need you to find, not I need you to create, or I need you to make, or I need you to falsify, or he didn't say any of those things. Now, regardless of how you feel about Donald Trump, maybe he worded it that way intentionally. But the fact of the matter is, and the facts is what we should be getting to, the fact is he didn't say create or falsify or make. He said, can you find? Which could be interpreted as, hey, I know that there are others there. I have information. I just need you to find them, right? I'm not asking you to falsify anything. Just find the correct stuff. That's all I'm asking you to do. Find the correct stuff. If they put it in the trash or whatever, just find it for me. That could be all that means. Just saying. I'm just saying.
The whole case is built on a subjective web of assumptions and lies. Paul Sperry accuses Jack Smith of trying to emotionally appeal to jurors, which is a little bit ironic because now a little pathetic Jack Smith is attacking Donald Trump, saying that his daily statements threaten to prejudice the jury pool in Jack Smith's DC case.
Jack Smith and his team of prosecutors are supposedly worried about the statements that President Trump releases on a social media platform regarding this case. For instance, just yesterday, President Trump released this message right here on Truth Social, referring to Jack Smith as being quote-unquote deranged. And so Jack Smith is making the argument that this case needs to go to trial ASAP before the jury pool in Washington, D.C. gets contaminated after reading too many posts from Donald Trump.
By the way,
a jury pool in D.C. being contaminated. What? Contaminated? Really?
Important distinction, Jack Smith is complaining that the jury in the case in D.C. in the District of Columbia could potentially be tainted by Donald Trump simply posting things online, you know, making daily statements. What an absolute piece of work. This guy has actively attempted to sway the jury the same way that they're doing in Georgia, and he has the audacity to claim that Donald Trump's public statements, Donald Trump's free speech, is threatening to prejudice the jury pool. Yeah, you know, I might be inclined to fall for that bogus argument if I was a complete moron, as if a DC jury can be tainted in Trump's benefit. Give me a break. 64% of DC residents would find Trump guilty before a trial even begins, and only 8% would find him innocent. How?
Before the trial begins, they conducted a survey. 64% he's guilty. Don't even know the evidence, right? Allegedly, according to this survey, have no clue about the evidence, but he's guilty. 64%. You think that group of individuals can be tainted? And I believe only 5% of DC residents voted for Trump. 5. If I remember the number correctly, I could be a little off on that, but it's a low number that voted for Trump. That group of individuals can be tainted. As a matter of fact, I would say that it should be moved to a more neutral location where the jury pool isn't so far left. I'm just saying. If anything, if anybody's tainted, it's the public opinion in that area.
Is this fair? Yeah, that's a great question. A recent poll conducted by Emerson College found that 64% of DC residents questioned would simply find Donald Trump guilty without even knowing the facts. A real fair process, huh? I don't ever want to hear anything about a prejudiced jury pool from the DOJ prosecutor bringing a highly political case against a Republican in 90+% Democrat stronghold DC. And now he's essentially making the argument that it's inappropriate for Donald Trump to be speaking his own mind on the case, a man with his back against the wall fighting for his freaking life. He's saying that guy shouldn't be allowed to speak and defend himself publicly because he might convince jurors that he's innocent or that the whole thing's a witch hunt. Go F yourself.
And Also, isn't that on you to persuade the jury that he's guilty? I thought it was innocent until proven guilty. So why is it a problem that he's out speaking about his innocence? Now, maybe I'm an idiot when it comes to the law, which is probably the case, okay? So if we have any lawyers or judges watching, let us all know in the comment section. Why is that an issue? Why is it an issue that he's speaking about his innocence out in public and swaying the jury? I mean, shouldn't it be up to the prosecutors to sway the jury that he's guilty? It shouldn't matter what the jury's opinion is, or how good of opinion that they have of Uncle Trump. It's their duty to prove Trump guilty. It is innocent until proven guilty, not guilty until proven innocent. It's the other way around. You're innocent. Unless you can prove that he is guilty, then he's innocent. So I don't see the problem here. I genuinely don't. Maybe, like I said, I'm an idiot when it comes to the law. I'll be the first to admit I'm not the most knowledgeable on it. So anybody with more experience or more knowledge, please let us all know in the comment section. But it's just not adding up to me.
No other way to react. These people are sick, legitimately sick. None of this is legitimate. For me to even give a slight benefit of the doubt, the grand jury proceedings that led to these cases would have had to been conducted literally anywhere but Fulton County, DC, and Manhattan. These cases are obviously biased, one-sided, subjective nonsense, and if all the evidence that we've seen isn't enough to prove that, if the general circumstance isn't enough, then I'd argue that all of these Democrat prosecutors and Democrat judges pushing as hard as they are to make sure that the trial date is ahead of the election season is pretty much the cherry on top, or the straw that breaks the camel's back, whatever metaphor you want to use, the last piece of the puzzle showing the whole picture. And my hope is the more this nonsense plays out, the more this theater plays out in the public, the more people start to realize just how garbage these indictments truly are. It's
Facts. Once again, big shout out to Liberal Hive Mind. I will leave the link to his channel in the description. All right, but I've also got another clip here that I want to show you guys really quickly, because the court of public opinion has been changing and people have been waking up and realizing the truth about what's going on. And it's a beautiful thing. It truly is, because for so long, it almost seems as if Republicans have been, shamed and called idiots, and, Republicans are in a cult, right? And now people are waking up and realizing, hold on, wait a minute. It's not Republicans that are the actual cult. I'm in the actual cult, I'm talking about from a Democrat's perspective, A lot of them are waking up to the fact that they're the ones in the actual cult. And let me tell y'all something, guys. Make sure you continue to have these conversations, because I have seen, comments where, people have said, if you haven't realized by now, you're never going to, or, if you think it now, you're just completely lost. No, I don't think all Democrats are completely lost. Even ones that still don't believe what's happening currently. They just need to be presented with the correct information in the correct way. And I get it. It can be frustrating. Oh, man, I got to tiptoe around this conversation because such and such. Hey, do you want to win, or do you want a country to go down the drain? The choice is yours. I'm all about W's, baby. I don't want to see this whole thing go down the toilet, this great experiment called America. All right, I don't want to see this go down the toilet. So if it means I have to tiptoe around the conversation to present somebody with some information, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to tiptoe the whole day around that conversation. As long as I get the message across and the facts across to the person so that they can understand it without rejecting it, and they leave that conversation understanding, oh, okay, he wasn't trying to bamboozle me. He actually gave me the facts. He was kind. He was caring. And you know what? I believe him. I'll tiptoe all day long. I'm just saying. But let me show y'all this clip here, and I'm going to get y'all out of here.
Scrolling down my timeline, watching all the videos of black people supporting Trump now. I told y'all, while y'all was too busy calling me names or whatever, I told y'all, I said, anybody that's willing to help black people, the Democrats want to destroy it. But hey, y'all finally got on board with it. Trump 2024. Black man thoughts in the mouthpiece.
Did you hear what he said? I'm gonna run part of that back.
Scrolling. supporting Trump now. I told y'all, while y'all was too busy calling me names or whatever, I told y'all, I said, anybody that's willing to help black people, the Democrats want to destroy it.
Anyone that's willing to help black people, the Democrats want to destroy them. Sounds like a great video topic for the future, huh? I'm just gonna leave y'all with that little teaser there, okay? We ain't gonna go any deeper than that, all right? But, you know, as I always say, right? I can say there's more, because I have more clips like that. Y'all know this. Y'all know I ain't lying, okay? Y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all let me know when y'all ready for another compilation video, because I can make another one of more and more people supporting Uncle Trump. And I think the more that they push, and I heard there might be another indictment coming, allegedly, which is just cartoonish. So yeah, go ahead, throw another indictment on Trump. Please do. Pile them on like no other. Pile them on. Make it so cartoonish, it's crazy. Wake more people up. Please do. Please do. You know, it's just funny because I think the elites, the heads, right? They understand how terrible this is now, but they're so far in. Now, this is just my humble opinion. They're so far in that they can't back out now. They have to go balls to the wall, so to speak, whatever kind of, you know, language you want to use. They have to go all in because they can't back out now. They can't. It would look terrible if they said, you know what, we're just going to drop all these charges against Donald Trump. You know, we brought them under false pretenses, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Like that would look absolutely terrible. So they have to go all in. It's a catch-22. They're going to lose or they lose. They lose if they back out, and they lose big time if when they lose, you know, all of these cases. So, hey, we just going to throw everything at them. Try to get something to stick. We got to get one thing to stick, right? Or at minimum, we can hamstring him. He can't go campaign. We can drain all of his campaign funds. People are going to get tired of donating to him. You know, death by 1,000 cuts. I've said that time and time again, guys, but I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work. His support is only growing, and it has been since the beginning of this you know, what I like to call a witch hunt, in my opinion, right? It's only been growing since the beginning of this. If y'all remember, him and DeSantis were tied. As a matter of fact, I think DeSantis was ahead of Trump at one point in the polls. Now DeSantis isn't even in sniffing distance. DeSantis can't even see Trump. Trump's not even in his eyesight. Like DeSantis can't even see him. And it's all because of Democrats. So one thing I will say after the election in 2024 is thank you. Thank you to the establishment for making the correction, for going so far that, how should I say this? You saved America. Peace and love. I'm out.